ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೀಪಾಗಿ ನೋಡೋಣ.
ಹ್ಮ್
ನಮ್ಮತ್ರ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ನ ಕೆಲವು ಭಾಗಗಳಿವೆ. ಇದು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ವೊಕ್ಯಾಬ್ಲರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ದಾರಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೇಳೋದು ಹೇಳೋದು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ನಮ್ಮ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಕರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
ಖಂಡಿತ. ಈ ಮೂಲವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಒತ್ತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅನ್ಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಪ್ರಯಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಆಗ ಕಷ್ಟದ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ಬೋದು.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
ಸರಿ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕೆಲವು ವೊಕ್ಯಾಬ್ಲರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಬ್ದಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡೋಣ.
ಓಕೆ. ಮೂಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಸ್, ಟ್ರೇನ್, ಆಟೋ ರಿಕ್ಷಾ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ, ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಈ ಥರ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಪದಗಳು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಗೋ, ಕಮ್, ಟೇಕ್, ಗೆಟ್, ಇನ್, ಗೆಟ್ ಆಫ್, ಡ್ರೈವ್, ವಾಕ್ ಈ ತರಹ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳು.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಐ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಬೈ ಬಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿ ಈ ತರಹ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಸರಳ ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಒಂಥರ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನ್ ತಂತ್ರ ಇರಬಹುದು?
ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದೇನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಈಗ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಅಂದಾಗ ಹೊಸ ಜಾಗ, ಟೈಮ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು.
ಆಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊರೋದೇ ತಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಬರೋ, ತಪ್ಪು ಕಡಿಮೆಯಾಗೋ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇರೋ ಶಬ್ದಗಳು, ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಜಾಣತನ.
ಓ ಅಚ್ಛಾ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟದ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳ ಬದಲು ಈ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಗುರಿ ಇರಬಹುದು.
ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸರಿ, ಈಗ ದಾರಿ ಕೇಳೋ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಣ. ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮೀ, ವೇರ್ ಈಸ್, ಹೌ ಡು ಐ ಗೆಟ್ ಟು ಈ ತರಹ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮೀ ಬಳಸೋದು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಂತಲೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಬರೀ ವಿನಯಕ್ಕ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆನಾದ್ರೂ ಕಾರಣ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ವಿನಯ ಖಂಡಿತ ಮುಖ್ಯ, ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಬೇರೆ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮೀ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಾತು ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ದಾರಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು. ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಗಮನ ಸೆಳೆಯೋಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಡುತ್ತೆ.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಉತ್ತರಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಿ, ಗೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್, ಟರ್ನ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಹೌದು, ತುಂಬಾ ಸರಳ.
ಇಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಅದೇ ತತ್ವ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ ಜಾಗ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು.
ಆದರೆ ಈ ತರ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದು ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರೂಢಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮೂಲ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ?
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಏನೂ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಮೇಲೇನೇ ಇದೆ.
ಸರಿ.
ಬಹುಶಃ ಪ್ರಯಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪು ದಾರಿ ಹಿಡಿಯೋದನ್ನ ತಪ್ಸೋದು ಸೌಜನ್ಯದ ಸಣ್ಣಪುಟ್ಟ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಿಸ್ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇದು ನಿಲ್ದಾಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಖಂಡಿತ.
ವೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಬೈ ಅ ಟಿಕೆಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೈನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿವೆ.
ಹೌದು. ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಒಂಥರ ಗದ್ದಲ, ಗಡಿಬಿಡಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿ ಪಡ್ಕೊಡೋಕೆ ಈ ಥರ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ಇದು ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಕರ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ದು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಸಿಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ.
ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೆಲವು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು, ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೆ.
ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ, ಗೋ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬದಲು ಟರ್ನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂತ. ಅಥವಾ ವೇರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಬಸ್ ಬದಲು ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇದು ಬರೀ
ಪಂಡಿತರ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ತರಹ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರೋ ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿಗಳು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಈಗ ಗೋ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು, ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ಅದೇ ಟರ್ನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಹಾಗೇನೆ ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಸುಲಭ.
ಓ ಅಚ್ಚಾ.
ಮೂಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಶಃ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನೇ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸೋ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಸರಿ ಸರಿ.
ಇನ್ನು ಕೊನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ವಿಧಾನಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪಾತ್ರಾಭಿನಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ,
ಲಿಸ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವತಃ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಇವುಗಳ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್?
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಭಾಷೆ ಕಲಿಯೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದೊಂದು ಸ್ಕಿಲ್.
ಹೌದು, ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ.
ರೋಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಜ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಗಳನ್ನೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಲ್ದೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಓಕೆ.
ಕೇಳೋದು, ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ಇದರಿಂದ ಭಾಷೆಯ ರಿಧಮ್, ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಸಂದರ್ಭಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಗ್ ಬಳಸೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಬೆಳೆಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಮೂಲದಿಂದ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕಲಿಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಯಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಸಿಟಿ, ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ವಿಧಾನಗಳೇ ಅತಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ. ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲ್ಸ ಆಗೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಈ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ.
ಸರಿ.
ಬೇಕಾದ ಕೆಲವು ಶಬ್ದಗಳು, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವಾಕ್ಯ ರಚನೆ, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳೋದು, ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ತಪ್ಪುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಮನ, ಇಷ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದರ ಒಂದು ಒಳನೋಟ ಇರಬಹುದು.
ನಿಜ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಷಾ ತಂತ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಯೋಚನೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಈ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಆಯಾ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇಹ ಭಾಷೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸನ್ನೆಗಳು, ಅವು ಈ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ನ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅದೇ ಗೊಂದಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಬಹುದಾ?
ಅದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ ವಿಷಯವೇ ಸರಿ. नमस्ते। आज हम एक बड़े ही दिलचस्प विषय पर बात करने वाले हैं। यात्रा के दौरान अंग्रेजी में बातचीत, खासकर दिशा पूछना या परिवहन के बारे में। हमारे पास एक स्पोकन इंग्लिश वीडियो स्क्रिप्ट है, यात्रा संवाद, दिशा और परिवहन। अब दावा तो ये है कि ये स्क्रिप्ट यात्रा में होने वाली बातचीत की मुश्किलों को आसान बनाती है। चलिए देखते हैं इसमें क्या खास है।
जी हाँ, ये स्क्रिप्ट काफी प्रैक्टिकल लगती है। मतलब इसका मकसद सिर्फ शब्द रटाना नहीं है, बल्कि असल जिंदगी में जैसे आपको रास्ता पूछना है या टिकट लेना है, उसमें आप कॉन्फिडेंस से अंग्रेजी बोल पाएं। ये समझिए कि भाषा से ज्यादा ये यात्रा का अनुभव सुधारने की कोशिश है।
अच्छा, तो शुरुआत होती है इसमें परिवहन के साधनों से, मतलब बस, ट्रेन, ऑटो रिक्शा वगैरह की वोकैबुलरी। ये तो ठीक है, पर इसमें बाई के इस्तेमाल पर काफी जोर दिया गया है, जैसे बाय कार, बाय बस। ये इतना जरूरी क्यों है?
इनमें बताने का एक स्टैंडर्ड तरीका है कि आप किस चीज से यात्रा कर रहे हैं। जैसे आई गो स्कूल बस सुनने में थोड़ा अजीब लगता है ना? जबकि आई गो बाय बस ज्यादा सही और नेचुरल है। फिर स्क्रिप्ट कुछ आम वर्ब्स मतलब क्रियाओं पर आती है। गो, कम, टेक, गेट इन, गेट ऑफ, ड्राइव, वॉक, राइड, बुक, रीच, वेट।
हाँ, ये तो वो शब्द हैं जो रोज काम आते हैं यात्रा में।
बिल्कुल। और उदाहरण भी दिए हैं, जैसे आई टेक द बस एट 8 AM या वी रीच द स्टेशन ऑन टाइम। इससे पता चलता है कि वाक्य में इन्हें कैसे फिट करना है, कम शब्दों में पूरी बात।
मुझे इसमें वो दिशा पूछने वाला सेक्शन काफी काम का लगा। स्क्रिप्ट सिखाती है कि आराम से, विनम्रता से कैसे पूछें, जैसे एक्सक्यूज मी, वेयर इज द बस स्टॉप, या हाउ डू आई गेट टू द रेलवे स्टेशन।
इस एक्सक्यूज मी पर इतना फोकस क्यों?
देखिए, यात्रा में हम अक्सर अजनबियों से ही बात करते हैं ना, तो एक्सक्यूज मी कहने से अगला इंसान थोड़ा ध्यान देता है, बात सुनने को तैयार हो जाता है। ये बस पोलाइट होना नहीं है, ये एक तरह से बातचीत का दरवाजा खोलना है।
हाँ, ये बात तो सही है।
और जवाब देने के तरीके भी बड़े सरल रखे हैं। गो स्ट्रेट, टर्न लेफ्ट, इट्स नियर द टेम्पल, ताकि न पूछने वाले को कंफ्यूजन हो, न बताने वाले को।
इसमें एक छोटा सा रोल प्ले भी है। क्या ये वाकई प्रैक्टिस में मदद करता है?
हाँ, बिल्कुल करता है। रोल प्ले या जो ये अभ्यास वाली बातचीत होती है ना, वो असल सिचुएशन का डर कम करती है। आप पहले ही प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं, तो फिर असली स्टेशन पर या सड़क पर किसी से पूछते हुए झिझक कम लगती है। समझिए, ये मसल्स मेमोरी बनाने जैसा है, बस भाषा के लिए।
अच्छा, और स्टेशन, एयरपोर्ट या बस स्टैंड पर बोले जाने वाले वाक्य भी हैं, जैसे वेयर कैन आई बाय अ टिकट, व्हाट टाइम इज द नेक्स्ट ट्रेन, विच प्लेटफॉर्म, हाउ मच इज द टिकट। ये तो बिल्कुल सीधे सीधे काम आने वाले सवाल जवाब हैं।
सही कहा। ये वो सवाल हैं जो हर यात्री के मन में आते ही आते हैं। इन्हें जानने से घबराहट कम होती है और लगता है कि हाँ, सिचुएशन कंट्रोल में है। और स्क्रिप्ट में दूसरों को रास्ता बताने के तरीके भी दिए हैं।
अच्छा, वो भी हैं?
हाँ, जैसे टर्न राइट नियर द स्कूल या द होटल इज बिहाइंड द टेम्पल। क्योंकि बातचीत तो दो तरफा होती है ना, पूछना और बताना दोनों आना चाहिए।
और हाँ, कुछ आम गलतियों से बचने की सलाह भी है। जैसे कई लोग बोल देते हैं गो राइट साइड लेफ्ट या ऐसा कुछ, उसकी जगह टर्न राइट कहना, या फिर आई एम गो बाय वॉक की जगह आई एम वॉकिंग। ये छोटी गलतियां हैं, पर क्या इनसे सच में फर्क पड़ता है?
अरे बहुत फर्क पड़ता है। गलत वाक्य कंफ्यूजन पैदा कर सकते हैं। सोचिए आप जल्दी में हैं और कोई गलत समझ ले तो आई एम गो बाय वॉक शायद कोई मतलब निकाल ले, पर आई एम वॉकिंग ज्यादा साफ और सही है। यही छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो आपकी बात को असरदार बनाती हैं। स्क्रिप्ट का इन पर ध्यान देना अच्छी बात है। ये दिखाता है कि ये सिर्फ ट्रांसलेशन नहीं, सही कम्युनिकेशन सिखा रही है।
स्क्रिप्ट के आखिर में एक कहानी भी है, द लॉस्ट टूरिस्ट, जिसमें एक टूरिस्ट किले का रास्ता पूछता है और एक दुकानदार उसे सही सही बता देता है। ये कहानी क्यों निर्देश देना?
ये सब मिलकर कैसे एक असली प्रॉब्लम जैसे रास्ता भटक जाना को हल कर सकते हैं। तो ये सिर्फ कहानी नहीं है, बल्कि जो सीखा है उसका एक प्रैक्टिकल डेमो है।
ओके, तो कुल मिलाकर ये स्क्रिप्ट यात्रा के दौरान अंग्रेजी में बात करने की जो बुनियादी मगर बहुत ज़रूरी चीज़ें हैं, उन पर फोकस करती है। मतलब ज़रूरी शब्द पता हो, दिशा पूछने बताने का सलीका आता हो, स्टेशन वगैरह पर काम आने वाले वाक्य मालूम हो और आम गलतियां ना करें।
बिल्कुल। और इसका असली जोर रटने पर नहीं, बल्कि इस बात पर है कि लोग असल सिचुएशन में कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ अंग्रेजी इस्तेमाल कर पाएं। ये उन लोगों के लिए जो नहीं चाहते कि यात्रा करते समय भाषा उनके आड़े आए।
आखिर में एक सवाल छोड़ जाते हैं सोचने के लिए। भाषा सीखना सिर्फ शब्द या ग्रामर सीखना तो है नहीं। ये नई जगहों और अनजान लोगों से जुड़ने का एक पुल भी है। जरा सोचिए, अपनी बात ठीक से कह पाने की ये काबिलियत हमारी यात्रा के अनुभवों को कितना बेहतर बना सकती है?
All right, picture this. You've just landed, okay? Brand new city. The energy is just buzzing all around you, all these unfamiliar sounds, sights. It's exciting. You step out, maybe you pull out your phone, map ready. You feel like, okay, I'm ready to conquer this place. But then reality hits. Maybe the GPS is acting up, the street signs look completely different, and suddenly that buzz of adventure starts feeling a little bit like, uh-oh, how do you actually get from A to B? From the airport to where you're staying? What if you miss your train? Where is that famous landmark everyone keeps talking about? So let's truly unpack this today, because in that moment, that mix of excitement and maybe a little bit of panic, the best tool you've got isn't some fancy app. It's language. Specifically, it's having those key English phrases ready, the ones that let you navigate confidently, find your way around. So our mission, our real goal in this deep dive is to pull out the most useful, the most practical English phrases and ideas from this really comprehensive source material we've got. We want to get you ready for confident, independent travel. So whether you're actually planning a trip right now, or maybe you just want to help a tourist who looks lost on your own street, or hey, maybe you're just curious about how language really opens up the world, this is for you. The stuff we're digging into here, it's immediately useful. It can genuinely change how you experience stepping into somewhere new.
Yeah, what's truly fascinating here is exactly that. It's the independence, the feeling of self-reliance you get, and the connection. Even just a few basic phrases can make such a difference. It's not just about getting somewhere. It's about having the freedom to choose your own path, talk to people properly, immerse yourself a bit without constantly needing your phone or someone else. And today, we're definitely not just about memorizing lists. We want to look at the why, the structure behind these phrases, the logic, maybe even some of the subtle cultural stuff. The source material we're drawing from is, well, it's a pretty thorough guide to travel English. Our job, as we see it, is to kind of cut through the noise, pull out the absolute best bits, the really potent insights, make it so you can actually use this stuff confidently right away, making it actionable.
Absolutely. Actionable is the key word. And when you think about navigating a city, the very first thing, the absolute foundation, is how you physically move. Right? How do you get from here to there? You've got to be able to talk about the different ways you can travel. And this is where it starts to get really interesting, because our source gives us that core vocabulary, the words you need to just discuss getting around. So let's start there. The essential modes of transport. First up, you've got the bus. Pretty much everywhere has buses, right? They're often the workhorse of city transport. Good for getting across town or just a few stops.
The backbone, really.
Then there's the train. Could be a fast commuter train and maybe a long-distance one between cities. Very versatile.
Definitely.
Now, in lots of places, you'll find the auto rickshaw. That's the three-wheeled one, often kind of open air. Great for shorter trips, zipping through busy streets.
Yeah, they're quite distinct, aren't they? Nimble little things.
Very different from a taxi or a cab. which is, your standard four-door car, more private, takes you door to door usually.
Right, the more traditional option.
Then for personal transport, you've got bike, and often in this context, that might mean a motorcycle, depending where you are.
Good point, yeah. Worth clarifying.
And of course the car. Pretty self-explanatory. And loads of cities now have a metro. Underground, sometimes elevated, usually fast, avoids traffic jams. Fantastic.
A lifesaver in big cities.
For longer trips, obviously there's the plane. And for water crossings, or maybe just a scenic trip, a boat. And becoming super popular, especially for greener travel in cities, the good old bicycle.
Can't forget the bicycle. Great for exploring.
Now, here's something really, really crucial. A grammar point are source flags. And it's one of those things that makes a huge difference in sounding natural. It's about using the word by. The rule is simple but powerful. Always say, by car, by bus, by train, by auto.
Right.
You travel by these things. It's the standard way, the idiomatic way, to talk about the method you're using. Not usually in bus or on train when you mean the general mode.
Exactly. That by generalizes the mode. It's how the journey happens.
It distinguishes it from being, like, physically inside one specific vehicle you might be pointing at.
Yeah, that by rule is absolutely foundational. It nails the means of transport, like you said, in that general sense. 'Cause think about it. If you say, I came in the car, maybe you mean that specific car over there.
Right, yeah.
But I came by car just means a car was your method. Could be any car. It wasn't the bus, wasn't the train.
Yeah.
It's a subtle difference, but it really marks fluency. And building on that, something the source hints at, and it's a super common slip-up for learners. You say by car, by bus. Sure. But you would not normally say by walk.
Ah, good catch. Yeah, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it?
It does. It's often a direct translation thing. The natural way to say it in English is on foot. Or even simpler, just say, I am walking.
Right, on foot. Or I'm walking. Makes sense.
Knowing that little exception avoids a really common, awkward phrasing. It helps you sound much more native. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, knowing the names of the transport, that's only like half of it, really.
Sure.
You need the action words, too. How do you interact with these things? How do you talk about actually moving? That's where the verbs come in. And our source gives us a great list of the essential travel verbs, the ones that bring your sentences to life. We're talking about go, come, take, get in, get off, drive, walk, ride, book, reach, and wait.
Okay, yeah, those are all key. Let's break them down. How does the source show us using them?
Okay, let's look at the examples. For take, the sentence is, I take the bus at 8 a.m. See, take here is really common for scheduled public transport.
Right, like you're choosing to use that service. It's regular.
Exactly. It implies using a specific service, maybe habitually. It's a bit more specific than just, I go by bus. It suggests a plan, a routine.
Okay, that makes sense. What about ride?
The example is, he rides his bike to college. So ride is pretty specific, usually for two-wheeled things, bikes, bicycle.
The horses.
Or horses, yeah. You ride those. You wouldn't really say you drive a bicycle like you drive a car. That verb choice matters.
Got it. Ride for two wheels or animals. Drive for cars. What's next?
How about wait? The example, they are waiting for a taxi. This one's great because it captures that feeling of, well, waiting, and being still expecting something. Super common in travel.
Oh yeah, lots of waiting in travel.
Tell me about it. And finally, reach. We reached the station on time. Reach is about arrival, success. You got there.
The destination is achieved.
Precisely. It signals the end of that part of the journey. And the choice between these verbs, it really adds precision. Like go and come are often about general direction towards or away from somewhere.
Going to the station. I'm coming home.
Exactly. But then you have get in and get off, which are often for like smaller enclosed vehicles, cars, taxis, maybe smaller trains.
Whereas get on and get off feel more like for bigger things, buses, planes.
That's generally how it works, yeah. It reflects how you physically board them.
Yeah.
Getting these subtle differences right is what makes your English sound really natural, really fluent. Not just understandable, but, good.
That's a really clear explanation. The nuance there is so important. And it flows perfectly into the next big thing, doesn't it? The transport words, the verbs, you're out there maybe walking around, and then whoops, you're not quite sure where you are, a little bit lost.
Happens to the best of us.
Totally. So what's the point of all this vocabulary then? Well, it means you can ask for help. You can get yourself unlost. You've got the phrases ready to go.
Empowerment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And our source gives us a fantastic toolkit for exactly this moment. Polite, direct, effective phrases. Let's start with the magic words. Excuse me. show up word, like in, excuse me, where is the bus stop? That, excuse me, is golden. It's not just polite, it's like a signal, isn't it? A gentle way to get someone's attention before you ask.
Absolutely crucial. It's the standard opener.
Okay, so you've opened politely. What if you know the place but not the route? You'd ask, how do I get to the railway station? Straight up asking for the steps, the path.
Direct request for instructions.
What if you think you're going the right way, but you need a quick check?
Then you might use, is this the way to the hospital? Just looking for a quick yes or no, maybe a correction.
Simple confirmation.
Okay.
Or maybe you need more general guidance.
You could try. Can you show me the direction to the bank? This feels a bit more open-ended, inviting someone to point or explain a bit more.
Yeah, like asking for a slightly bigger picture. And one last super practical one. Is it far from here?
Ah, yes, the how much effort is this going to take question.
Exactly. Helps you decide walk, get a taxi.
Yeah.
Really useful for planning the next few minutes.
And, looking at those questions, it's clear how each one is designed to get a slightly different kind of answer. It's quite clever.
How so?
Well, like you said, where is? Asks for a specific location. How do I get to? Asks for a process, steps. Is this the way? Is just asking for confirmation, yes or no, basically.
Right.
And is it far? That's about managing your expectations, isn't it? Time, effort. It helps you decide the mode. Walk, bus, whatever. It's smart travel planning embedded in a simple question.
That's a great way to put it, managing expectations. Okay, so you've asked your well-phrased question. Now what?
Now you listen. And this brings up a key point. How do people usually give directions? How do you understand the answer? Locals often use this really efficient mix of, commands and landmarks. Our source lists the common phrases you'll likely hear.
Okay, like what?
Things like, go straight, super clear command. Or turn left at signal. Again, command plus a reference point, the traffic light.
Makes sense. What about location?
You'll hear things like, it's near the temple, or it's opposite the park. Using prepositions near, opposite tied to a landmark everyone probably knows locally.
Temple, park, school, those kinds of things.
Exactly, and maybe something like, it's on your right side, for precise positioning on the street. So if you break it down, you see a pattern. Action verbs, go, turn, prepositions of place, near, opposite, on, and landmarks. It's like they're painting a quick mental map for you.
Yeah, you can almost visualize it as they speak, which is way more helpful than just saying, it's over there.
Definitely. And seeing it in action makes it stick. Our source has this great little role play example. Ramesh, the tourist, and a shopkeeper. It's short, but it shows exactly how these pieces fit together.
Okay, let's hear it. How does the conversation go?
All right, so Ramesh starts using that polite opener we talked about.
Ramesh, excuse me, where is the railway station?
Nice and clear. The shopkeeper replies with simple instructions.
Shopkeeper, go straight and take the second left.
Ramesh then asks that practical follow-up.
Ramesh, is it far?
And the shopkeeper gives a time estimate, which is often super helpful.
Shopkeeper, no, 10 minutes by walk.
Okay, now just a quick side note on that. By walk. We mentioned on foot or walking are often more standard.
Right.
But by walk is something you'll hear, especially in certain regions or English dialects. It's perfectly understandable in context here. It shows how English varies globally, but the meaning gets across just fine.
Good point. It works. So Ramesh gets his answer.
And he says,
Ramesh, thank you so much.
and the shopkeeper finishes with,
Shopkeeper, you're welcome.
and boom. Simple, effective communication, job done.
It really does perfectly show that core lesson from the source. Always use excuse me before asking for help. It's more than just manners, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's cultural respect. It signals you value their time, you're not just demanding information, and honestly, it probably makes people more willing to help you.
Sets a positive tone right from the start.
Okay.
Creates that little connection.
Exactly. That initial politeness builds a bridge. And yeah, the bywalk thing is a good reminder that while there are standard forms, language is flexible and understanding is the main goal. That whole exchange, it's the blueprint. Polite request, clear info, clarification, thanks. Perfect.
Okay, so we've mastered asking for directions on the street, interpreting the answers, even the little role play. But travel isn't always just about streets, is it?
Not at all. You got the big hubs.
Exactly. Train stations, airports, bus terminals. These places are like mini cities themselves, with their own language, their own challenges. They can be busy, confusing.
Definitely overwhelming sometimes.
So let's unpack this crucial step. Because once you're inside one of these places, you need a whole different set of phrases, right? Asking about tickets, platforms, times, delays.
Yeah, the context changes completely.
Our source gives us some really practical sentences. for exactly these situations. First off, the absolute essential when you arrive. Where can I buy a ticket?
Can't get anywhere without that one.
Pretty much. It's step one. Could lead you to a counter, a machine, who knows, but you gotta ask.
Yeah.
Then once you're sorted, maybe, what time is the next train? Crucial for planning.
Timing is everything.
And if you know your destination, you need to know where to go. Which platform for train to Mysuru? Getting on the wrong train is not ideal.
Understatement of the year. That's a critical question.
And the money question, always important. How much is the ticket to Chennai? Need to know the cost.
Basic budgeting, yep.
Now, sometimes things go wrong. You might need to say, I missed the bus. It happens.
Unfortunately, yes.
And saying that isn't just stating a fact, is it?
Yeah.
It's usually the start of trying to fix the problem. Okay, I missed it, now what?
Exactly. It leads to the next question, is there another one? Or, what are my options?
Right. On the positive side, when things are going well, you might hear or say, we are boarding the flight now. The journey's starting.
The exciting part?
Or the less exciting part, but very common. The train is late. A phrase heard worldwide, I suspect.
Sadly, yes. A universal travel experience.
So these phrases cover that whole cycle within the station or airport.
Yeah.
Buying, timing, finding, paying, dealing with problems, moving on. Super useful.
They really are. And each one serves a very specific function in that kind of structured environment.
Right.
Like you said, where can I buy a ticket? That's the starting gun. The answer could be counter 3, the machine over there, on the app.
Right. It opens up possibilities.
And I missed the bus, classic problem statement. It practically begs the follow-up question about alternatives. It's rarely said in isolation.
True. It demands a solution.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how different the vocabulary is compared to street directions. You've got specific words like platform for trains, boarding for planes, late, which applies to many things.
Yeah, it's specialized language.
Totally different from turn left at the temple. Stations and airports have their own logic, their own terminology. And the source gives some really solid advice here, too. Repeat key sentences. Use at real stations or practice with maps.
Ah, the practice element again.
It's crucial because just knowing the phrase isn't enough. You need to be able to say it like automatically when you're maybe a bit stressed in a noisy station.
And under pressure.
Exactly. Practicing, even just mentally walking through it with a map, builds that muscle memory. It makes the phrases feel less like something you learned and more like something you know how to use. It internalizes them.
It makes so much sense. It's about making it automatic, not having to consciously search for the words when you need them most.
Precisely. Active learning, simulation,
Yeah.
it really works.
Okay, so active practice is key. And speaking of active, let's flip this around now.
Mm-hmm.
We spent a lot of time on you, the listener, being the one asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when someone asks you for directions? Suddenly you're the local
My
expert.
tables are turned.
Exactly. And that requires a slightly different skill set, right?
Mm.
You need confidence, but more than anything, you need clarity. Your instructions have to be crystal clear for someone who's probably already a bit lost and maybe stressed.
Yeah, clarity is paramount when you're giving directions.
So our source gives us some good examples of how to do this effectively. As we go through them, maybe try and visualize a simple map in your head. It helps.
Good idea.
Okay, example 1. Nice and simple. Go straight. Can't get much clearer than that for forward motion. Sets the baseline.
The fundamental command.
Turn right near the school. Okay, so you've got the action turn right, plus a clear landmark, the school. Makes it much easier to spot the turning point.
Using landmarks is so helpful.
Totally. And finally, the hospital is next to the bank. Precise location using next to, which means right beside, and another clear landmark, the bank. Paints a clear picture of the final spot.
Very specific. Okay, what's the second example?
Example 2 brings in a couple more useful phrases. Walk past the market. This tells them to keep going beyond a specific point, the market, so they know not to stop there, but to continue.
Good instruction for longer stretches. Keep going until.
Right. Then, take a left at the circle. Circle usually means a roundabout or traffic circle, right? Another common visible navigation point.
Mm-hmm. Very common in many places.
And finally, the hotel is behind the temple. Again, that precise preposition behind, linked to a clear landmark, the temple, gives a strong visual.
These examples really nail down the core components, don't they?
How do you mean?
Well, you've got those clear commands, the imperatives, go, turn, walk, tells people what to do.
Okay, the action words.
Then you layer on the specific prepositions of location, near, next to, past, at, behind. These tell people where things are in relation to each other.
Yeah.
Super important for accuracy.
The spatial words.
Exactly. And then the secret sauce, really, anchoring it all with recognizable landmarks. The school, the bank, the market, the temple. These turn abstract directions into something you can actually see and follow in the real world.
Right. They make it concrete.
And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, being able to give directions well, it shows more than just language skills. It shows you know your area, you can think spatially, and, importantly, that you're helpful.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling to help someone find their way.
It really is. And getting those prepositions right, near versus next to versus opposite versus on your right, that's what gives your directions that pinpoint accuracy, translating your own mental map for someone else.
And using landmarks they'll actually notice. A flashing neon sign might be obvious to you, but maybe the big red building is better for a tourist.
Excellent point. It's about choosing landmarks that are universally recognizable, not just things you happen to notice. Bridging that gap between local knowledge and visitor unfamiliarity.
That's really insightful. It's about effective communication from their perspective. Okay, so we know how to ask, how to give directions, but learning a language isn't just about learning the right way, is it? It's also about understanding the common mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. Knowing the pitfalls is just as important.
Right. It helps you avoid them, understand why things might sound off, and refine your own speaking. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the source highlights some very specific common errors learners make, along with the clear corrections. Knowing these can be a huge confidence booster.
Definitely helps fine-tune things.
Okay, let's dive into these common mistakes. First one, you might hear someone say, go right side left.
Chuckles slightly. Yeah, that one ties your brain in a knot just hearing it.
It does. It's redundant, confusing. Like, which way do I actually go? The clear, simple, correct way is just eat, turn right, or do turn left. The verb turn already implies the direction. Adding side and the contradictory left is just noise.
Unnecessary clutter. Keep it simple.
Okay, next one. This is a classic, often from translating directly or missing grammar bits. Where going bus?
Ah, yeah, missing the little helper words.
Exactly. It's missing the auxiliary verb is, and the subject isn't quite right.
So the correct way.
Where's the bus going?
Yeah.
You need that. That is for the present continuous tense, and the subject, the bus, comes before the main verb going in a question like this. Those small words are mighty.
They really hold the sentence structure together.
Totally. And the last one we'll highlight, which we touched on before, I am go by walk.
The by walk again.
Yeah. While people might understand it, it's just not the most natural or common way to say it in most English contexts.
So what are the better options?
The most common and natural is simply, I am walking. Or you could use the idiom, I am going on foot. Even I will go by walk, while understandable and used sometimes, feels a bit less typical than just I'm walking.
Right. I am walking is direct and very common. On foot is the established idiom. It's about using those natural patterns.
Exactly. It's moving beyond word-for-word translation to how English actually flows. Language is about
Okay.
patterns, not just single words.
And these mistakes are such great learning points because, like you said, they often come from logical places, maybe trying to apply rules from another language or just missing a specific English quirk like needing auxiliary verbs or knowing common idioms.
Yeah, go right side left might make perfect sense structurally in another language.
Could well do. And where going bus is a classic case of omitting the auxiliary, which English relies on so heavily. By walk versus on foot is pure idiom. One just became the standard way over time.
So this raises an important question then. How does actually knowing these specific mistakes help you learn faster and feel more confident?
Well, it shifts you from just generally trying to get better to actually targeting specific issues. If you know you sometimes forget the I's in questions, or that by walk sounds a bit off, you can actively listen for it in your own speech.
Right, you can self-correct more effectively.
Precisely. It makes your learning much more focused and efficient. It's not about never making mistakes. That's impossible and part of learning. But being aware of the really common ones, that helps you smooth out the rough edges much faster.
Turns mistakes into stepping stones, basically.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly back to the importance of practice. Conscious, active practice, which our source really hammers home with those speaking practice prompts.
Yeah, those looked really useful. They're not just theory, are they?
Not at all. They're direct invitations to speak, to use the language, to build that muscle memory we talked about. Let's look at them again. I travel by every day. This gets you using the by plus transport structure, but making it personal, Connecting it to your life makes it stick.
Makes it relevant.
Excuse me, where is the polite opener and the basic location question? You can slot in any place name. Immediate practical use.
Good for practicing asking.
Go straight and turn. This one focuses on giving those core directional commands. Practicing the imperatives.
Practicing giving instructions.
How much is the ticket to? Essential for travel involving payment. Reinforces asking about cost and destination.
Super practical.
We will reach by form.
This practices talking about arrival using future tense or specifying the means.
Covering different aspects of the journey.
And then there's the challenge from the source, which I think is brilliant. Ask for directions to a nearby hospital or temple in English.
I love that. It pushes you to actually do it.
Exactly. It's not a classroom exercise. It's about taking that little leap, using the language for its real purpose in a safe, low-stakes way. That's where the real learning happens, where confidence blossoms. Active real-world use internalizes these skills like nothing else. It really does. You learn by doing, right? And to really cement all this, to show how all these phrases and ideas come together in a real situation, the source gives us that nice little narrative, the lost tourist.
The story.
So what does this story really show us? It demonstrates how these elements, the asking, the answering, the politeness, actually function in a simple, successful interaction. It proves that even basic English gets the job done.
Let's hear it again, nice and slow, so we can really absorb it.
Okay, here it is. Last week, a tourist came to our town. He wanted to visit the famous fort, but didn't know the way. He asked a local shopkeeper, "Excuse me, how do I go to the fort?" The shopkeeper said, "Go straight, take the first right, and it's near the lake." The tourist followed the direction and reached safely.
It's short, but it's packed, isn't it? It neatly ties together so much of what we've discussed. Let's use the comprehension questions from the source to break it down. Where did the tourist want to go?
The famous fort. Clear destination.
Who helped him?
A local shopkeeper. Shows that interaction with locals works.
And what were the directions?
Go straight, take the first right, and it's near the lake. Perfect example. Command, turn, landmark.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is how this simple story, right from our source, perfectly captures that whole communication cycle we've been analyzing.
Yeah, it's all there.
You've got the polite question, excuse me, how do I go? The clear answer, using commands and a landmark, go straight, take the first right, near the lake, and the successful result, he reached safely.
It shows it works.
It absolutely shows it works. It highlights how these small language exchanges can make a huge difference to someone's travel experience, turns potential stress into a smooth, positive moment.
Yeah, I mentioned fumbling, getting flustered.
Yeah.
Versus just asking clearly and getting a clear answer. Huge difference.
Massive difference. And for you, the listener, the takeaway is that every phrase you learn, every mistake you overcome, adds another thread to your communication skills. It builds confidence piece by piece, making your travels not just manageable, but actually more enjoyable and enriching.
Definitely. Okay, so that brings us towards the end of this deep dive. Let's try and pull all these threads together. Let's unpack what we've really covered today about navigating a city in English.
Sounds good. A quick recap.
We've covered a lot. We started with that essential travel vocabulary, all the modes of transport, bus, train, auto rickshaw, the works, and the key verbs like take, ride, reach that bring travel sentences to life.
The building blocks.
Then we moved into the really crucial skill of asking and giving directions. Asking clear questions, understanding answers with landmarks, and giving clear instructions yourself.
The core interaction.
From there, we looked at those specific real-life sentences you need at stations, airports, and bus stops, buying tickets, finding platforms, dealing with delays, the hub navigation stuff.
With specialized language bits.
We also tackled those common mistakes like go right side left or where go in bus so you can speak more clearly and naturally.
Smoothing out the edges.
And threaded through it all, we kept coming back to the massive importance of speaking practice to really make these phrases your own, to internalize them.
Can't emphasize that enough.
At the end of the day, like the source says, travel is easier when you know how to speak. It really is about that independence, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And, this whole discussion really does raise a bigger, maybe more thought-provoking question for you, the listener, to consider. How does getting the hang of this practical navigation language change more than just how you travel? How does it change who you become as a traveler?
Interesting angle. What do you mean?
Well, it's not just about getting from A to B anymore, is it? It's about having the confidence to maybe wander off the beaten path a bit, to strike up a conversation you wouldn't have dared to before, to engage with the culture more directly, not just through a guidebook.
Yeah, less like a spectator, more like a participant.
Exactly. It reduces that travel anxiety, boosts your autonomy, and honestly, it can lead to much richer, more memorable, more authentic experiences and connections. It's quite profound, actually.
That's a really powerful thought. It's about transforming the whole experience.
It can be. And we really hope you take what we've explored today and run with it. Don't just think of these next steps as homework. See them as genuine opportunities to build that skill, that confidence. The source suggests some great practical things. First, write 5 sentences about your own daily travel. Use the by structure, the verbs. Make it real for you.
Personalize it.
Second, practice asking directions to 3 different places. Say them out loud. Your local shop, the park, the library. Get used to forming the questions.
Active vocal practice.
And third, use a map paper or digital and describe a route out loud in English. Pretend you're guiding someone. Okay, first, go straight, then take the second left.
Simulate giving directions.
These aren't just exercises. They're about building that fluency, that automaticity, so the phrases are there when you need them.
Yep.
Your next trip, whether it's across the world or just exploring a new neighborhood nearby, will feel so much more accessible and rewarding when you feel confident communicating. So keep practicing, keep asking questions, and keep speaking English.